help your coaches navigate these things? Let's say you're the lifeboat there. How do you help them there, Harini?
I've never seen myself as a lifeboat, but going with that analogy, with that, well, there are going to be those uncertainties, right? In fact, to me, what is certain? The moment I feel like I'm certain of something, then it's more of the I that gets in there that says that yes, I am doing it. I want to be in control. I want to be certain, right? For me, it is helping them get comfortable with the uncomfortable, but never saving them from the discomfort. I want them to allow for that discomfort to show in all of its entirety. Right. So especially if there are the redundancies, people go through it in different ways, right? Anger one day, absolute sadness another. And it's not about telling them, okay, now come on, let's move on.
Yeah.
Allow for it to show up in whatever way it will for you, right? And I'm here to hold you as it shows up, right? So it's not so much about saving them as a lifeboat, but to kind of maybe help them paddle as they are holding on to that boat, and both of us are holding on to that boat,
Yes.
right? The coach on one side, the coachee on the other side, right? And the coaching conversation is what I see as that life, right? And we're both holding on to it, and we will get on that boat at some point.
True. That's a good way to look at it, right? Rather than saying I jump into the gray to solve for the gray, right? So be there and kind of moving in the right direction to navigate it.
Right, because it's not like the coach is not in the gray, right? It's like, it's almost like, okay, you're in the fog and I'm out of it, and here I am pulling you into, the light. The coach is as much in the fog as the other person. I mean, everybody has their own, areas of gray, right?
Correct.
So it is about just getting comfortable with it. And, sometimes when people come in even expecting to be saved, right, or from that fog, I think it's time for that pause again to let them know that we're not here to save you. We're not here to give you those answers, right? But we're going to come and find those together, right? In terms of what's right for you.
Which also reminds me, I mean, thinking about sometimes organizations resort to coaching when they feel that something is, there could be a leader who's not bringing value, or supposedly the environment is not helping him to contribute well, and they want to perhaps show him the path out, but they feel that coaching could help, and then they try and reach out, and they present the fact that, hey, you either he stays in the job because of your coaching, or he's leaving, he or she. And then there is and perhaps they even talk about it to the coachee, and then the coachee comes into the session thinking, is this coach going to be the magic to help me retain the job or find the next one? So the way organizations leverage coaching has also changed from what it's a tool, it's a fascinating and an enabling tool, but sometimes misunderstood.
Absolutely, right? So even today, people are still confused with what counseling is, what coaching is. Um, Sometimes it gets into those areas of therapy, right? So there are all of these misconstructions.
Correct. And we'll have to be very careful. And that's where, as a coach, it's also important where, because we are in a responsible space, it's important, as you started out the conversation, a sacred space, we need to be honest and having that level to say, if it is positioned for this, we are not going to be that magician. We are not the magic nor the magician. It's the coachee who is the magician. And we are only going to be enabling the process of magic, if at all, from the outside.
Absolutely. Which is why, to me, a coach need not even know much about the other person's industry or um, culture or anything at all, right? So I've sometimes had coaches who are just about beginning, especially when you're coaching the coach, right? And when there are those sessions, a very common question that comes up is, oh, but I don't know enough about that person's work, or I don't know enough about that particular industry. How can I coach him? Or I'm not comfortable with that level of leadership, right? So how am I going to be coaching this C-level executive? You don't need to,
Correct,
right? That's you cannot prepare for these things and get into the conversation,
correct.
right? You are that mirror to that to that other person, and that's all that you are.